Hey, how y'all doing tonight? I just finished with this grave and was just giving my bones a rest. I like working at night. It's nice and peaceful. The name is MT Graves. I'm the caretaker and digger here at the graveyard. So did you stop by to hear a yarn or two? I have some terror-filled tales that will set your mind racing and have your hair on end. Well, find you a spot and get comfortable and I'll tell you a story that will keep you up at night, staring into the darkness wondering if you will be next. Bush Cove. Deputy Andy Tyler and Benny Fife explored the area as Sheriff Belfry T. Justice took statements from John and Billy. The two guys attempted to tell the facts to the sheriff as calmly as they could, but shaking and speedy speech told Justice that both were still in shock. Justice cleared his throat as he asked his first question. So this monster came out of the water? John shuddered a reply. I didn't say it was a monster. It was a thing. A thing, replied Justice as he made notes in his small logbook. A thing that growled. Like a dog. Yes. I mean no. I mean it growled but not like a dog. I am not sure how to describe it, replied John. So this growly thing attacked you? Asked Justice. No. Not exactly. We ran from the bank as soon as we saw it. John said. And it was scary, replied Justice. Yes. Very big and dark, replied Billy. And it was so frightening that it scared you so much you left your cooler and beer on the bank? Asked Justice. What? John didn't understand the comment. Sergeant Andy Tyler held up Billy's cooler, apparently retrieved from the water's edge. John sighed and looked back at Justice. We were drinking. Or rather, preparing to drink when all this occurred. Uh-huh, replied Justice as he made more notes. And then the monster came out of the water. I didn't say it was a monster. It was a thing. Billy shot back. A thing. That growled like a dog? Asked Justice. It growled but not exactly like a dog. I don't know what kind of growl it was, replied John. Grunted Justice. Sheriff, I am not making this up. You have got to believe us. The frustration in John's voice was clearly apparent. Justice looked up from his notes and glared at John hard. Young man, you want to know what I think? I think all these cans beside your car show that both of you were drinking, a lot. And in your drunken state, you heard a dog growl and mistook that for this monster. That is what I think. But there was a splash and big ripples in the water. I saw them, cried Billy. Really? Sheriff Justice took off his glasses and rubbed his eyes. Look, buddy. Here is what I am going to offer both of you. Clean up all your cans and leave. I will overlook the public drinking, loitering, and wasting police time and resources. This time, don't come back to this spot and keep your drinking at home. If I catch you out drinking again, I'll charge you with everything I can, even if I have to make up a few. These aren't all our cans. We just brought a couple of six-pack, replied John. And all these cans are from other people, Justice said, spreading his hands out over the area. Yes. This spot is popular with high schoolers. It's secluded and good for drinking, John said. Young man, I suggest you accept my offer and clean up this spot and just leave, Justice said. Billy Cap pulled at John hard. John, let's just go. Hard sighed and started picking up the empty cans, placing them in his truck bed since he didn't have a garbage bag. 3 minutes later, he started the truck and headed back toward town, anxious to leave Bush Cove behind. Their town has always had a reputation for unusual phenomenon. Present is just that. A surprise. As far as John or Billy was concerned, they would be happy never to return to the area. Sheriff Belfry Justice and Sergeant Andy Tyler watched as the car left the area. Tyler then spoke. "What do we do now, Chief?" "Nothing," replied Justice. "We wrap up here and write a report on the incident." "No follow-up." "Okay, want me to put up some loitering signs?" replied Tyler. "Yeah, that is a good idea. You can pick up some back at the office and do it tomorrow," ordered Justice. The next evening, Deputy Tyler returned to the Bush Cove with the signs. Tyler was convinced that the story told by John Hard may be truthful and that something might live in this area of the canal. This wasn't the first weird thing he has experienced while working for the sheriff's office. Tyler walked quietly along the bank of the canal for about 30 minutes without anything out of the ordinary. He then sat down to rest for a minute when a large splash in the canal startled him. A dark mud-colored monster nearly 9 feet tall and with sharp fang-like teeth came out of the water and approached Tyler. It looked as if a catfish and man was fused together. It wasn't humanoid, or fish, but something in between. Startled, Tyler fumbled for his gun, but it was too late. The monster grabbed his upper torso and tossed the 160-pound man around like a sack of potatoes. Tyler cried out briefly and then went silent. Sheriff Belfry Justice found a half-eaten corpse of Andy Tyler the next day. Justice consoled Fife as he looked around the canal. All was quiet and nothing was out of place. "What do we do now?" asked Fife as he looked away from the corpse. "We write this up as a boating accident, the victim being cut up by propeller blades after falling into the water," replied Justice. "Sheriff, we have no evidence of that," protested Fife. "That is our best theory," Justice said. Fife half nodded and called for an ambulance to take the body to the present morgue. "Benny, one more thing," Justice ordered. Fife looked up at the sheriff, wondering what the older man would say. "Ask the Department of Public Works to put new no swimming signs along this part of the canal. The last ones were taken down by the drunks or kids," Justice said softly. Fife nodded. "And Benny, have them place on the signs unsafe water conditions. Pollution. We need to do that," Justice said. "Chief, we have no evidence of water pollution," replied Fife. Justice signed and nodded. "I know. But do it anyway. I don't want any more boating, swimming or drinking accidents." "Hope that didn't scare you too much. Just something to think about when you're in the dark, or when the power goes out. Well, I guess I've rested enough. I have more customers to attend to. Seems business is booming. See ya around. Eventually."